I'm Anil Kumar. Let us understand angle properties of intersecting lines. There are three statements written here. We'll just understand these three. First one, two angles whose sum is 90 degrees are complementary. Second one, two angles whose sum is 180 degrees are supplementary, and then opposite angles are always equal. Okay, now that is what is a fact. What I will do here is, we're talking about intersecting lines, so I'll draw intersecting lines. So one line going like this, the other one going like this. These are intersecting lines, correct? Now this time I'll draw another intersecting line. Let's say we draw a line kind of like this, and let me add another one. How does it matter? So I'll add one more, kind of like this. Okay, and this time let me do lines which are not very confusing, but I'll rays I'm drawing this time. Okay, so instead of lines I'm drawing rays, which is part of line, and well, this one is a line for me and these two are the rays for me, right? I've kept them as rays to give you an idea what the angles are, right? So these are three figures for us. And in these figures, what we have is that this angle is 90 degrees and this angle is also 90 degrees. Okay. And this angle is, let me estimate, let us say it is 35 degrees. Okay. This is 35 degrees. What you need to do is estimate the other angles, right? So in this case, I'll kind of make it simpler for you. I'll give you one more angle. Otherwise, you could not have done this. Let's say this is 40 degrees. And here also, I need to give you more angles. So I'll give you one angle here. Let's say this angle is, let's say 30 degrees. Okay, 30 degrees. Now, we'll try to estimate other angles. Okay, so let's begin with the very first diagram here. We have 90 degrees. One of the angle is 40. What is this angle? Well, 90 degrees, two angles, that means that angle should be, okay, first let's label it. So when you want to label the angles, we write some points with capital letters. Let's say this is O and say this is B and this is C. What we really want to find is what is the angle AOC. So this angle we are interested in finding. Okay, this is what we are interested in finding. But what do we know is that angle AOB is 90 degrees. So angle AOB, so sometimes we write measurement, M, right, is 90 degrees. This is what we know. We also know that the measurement of angle COB is 40 degrees. Now we want to find what is angle AOC. Well, angle AOC should be 90 minus 40, correct? Difference of these two, big angle, take away the small angle, will give us that angle. So it is 90 degrees minus 40 degrees, and that should be 50 degrees. So we got this as 50 degrees. Okay. Now let's read the first statement. Two angles whose sum is 90 degrees are complementary. Okay. So if I add these two angles, 50 plus 40 is 90, that means that angle AOC and angle BOC are complementary, right? So are complementary. So these are complementary angles. Okay, so we have learned and seen what complementary angles are. So they add up to 90 degrees. Let's get back to the next one, which is two angles whose sum is 180 degrees are supplementary. Okay. Okay. So it could be two or three also, or more. Two or more. Let me correct it. It could be more, right? So two, let me write or more. This angle should be also equal to 35 degrees. Is it okay? So these two are 35 degrees. How about these two angles? They are also equal since they are opposite angles, but how much should they be? As we can see, a line makes angle of 180 degrees. So all this is 180 degrees. So the one here should be 180 degrees, take away 35. Okay, so let's do this. What is 180 take away 35 equals to? 145. So this angle should be 145 degrees. Now since this is opposite to that, it should also be 145 degrees. Correct? So in this diagram, what we see is that the opposite angles are equal, as it should be, and sum of these two is 180. That is called supplementary angles. So examples of supplementary angles here are, sometimes we write angles like this. Okay, so let me label. It's good to label, right? Otherwise we cannot write. So let me write the numbers all capitals. Okay, so we'll say this is O for us. Okay, A, B, C and D. So in that case, if you add up angle AOB and AOC, angle AOC, you get 180 degrees. So that is one set of supplementary angles. The other one, angle BOD plus angle DOC, is also 180 degrees. Most of the time when we are writing measurement of angle, then we write M here, right? So that M means measurement of angle. If it is not written and equation is written without it, it is understood to be measurement of angle. Okay, that's important to understand, right? So these are two sets of supplementary angles, and here we have two angles whose sum is 180 degrees. Now in this diagram, however, we have three different angles. So let's begin by writing A, B, C, D, E, and F here, right? Okay, so that we can, as you have seen, it is important to label, otherwise very difficult to write down the angles. And now let's figure out all other angles. So this is kind of a test question for you. So in this question, first question is find angles, and then you have to name set of complementary angles and supplementary angles. Okay, so these are the things which you have to do for that part. You can pause the video, answer, and then look into my suggestions. Okay, so let's begin. How are we going to answer this question? Let's begin with opposite angles. Here it is 30, opposite is this angle. Do you see that? So that angle should be 30 degrees. So that gives you angle DOE is 30 degrees. Now here we are saying 90 degrees. So FOE should be 90 minus 30. So that angle should be 60 degrees. Do you get that? How about AOF? 180 is the linear pair minus 90. This is also 90 degrees. Correct? Now, vertically opposite angles. COD should be 90 degrees. Also, since this is 60, opposite angle 60 degrees. So that is how we get all the angles. Correct? As far as the complementary angles are concerned, FOE and EOD, their sum is 90, one set. And then on this side, AOB and BOC, that is also 90 degrees. Correct? So this is also 90. So we get two sets here. Now sets for complementary angles. So look at each line. So if you take the line BE, then these three angles add up to 180. That is one set. If you take this line, and also from the other side, right? So this, and this. If you take the other line, you get this angle, this, that, and this, 3. Right? You could also write this as combination of two 90 degrees, AOF and FOD. So it could be sum of these two, it could be sum of 3. Correct? Similarly, on this side of the line, it could be sum of DOC and COA. You could also write this as sum of AOB, BOC, and COD. Right? So that is how You can get so many combinations for complementary and supplementary angles. I hope over this video the concept becomes clear. So, complementary angles add up to 90 degrees, supplementary angles add up to 180, vertically opposite angles are always equal. You can go back, rewind, or watch the video again to understand the concepts. If you like, you can always subscribe and share my videos. Thank you and all the best.